Back now on Triad today, always glad we can spend a few minutes with the good folks at GTCC, and we have a first-time visitor to the show with us now. He's a pretty important guy, and you're going to find out why. Dr. David Pittman's with us. He's campus dean for GTCC by way of Duke, Tennessee, Florida State. You've been all over. Welcome. And thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
All those teams. I mean, what if Duke and Florida State or something, Tennessee play each other? What do you do?
Well, I'm often known as a confused fan, but I'll tell you, at the end of the day, who's paying the paycheck is who I'm pulling for.
That's right. So GTC is getting the football team any day now. That's right. Now, all right, seriously, most folks think about GTC, they say, oh, what a beautiful campus out in Jamestown. That's not the only one, though.
No, it's
Tell me
not.
about it.
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that question because when people think of GTCC, they often think of Jamestown. But we have a number of campuses. We have one in High Point on East Main. We have one in Greensboro on East Wendover. And we also have 3 aviation campuses. So we're spread out throughout Guilford County.
What's the advantage in having those campuses instead of just one main campus?
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't realize, I think, that we have a very large college. We're the 4th largest community college out of the 58 institutions in North Carolina. So we're pretty large. And the other advantage is that because we're so large, it really comes down to access, honestly. I mean, by having these campuses spread out throughout the Triad and across the county, it provides more access.
More convenient for somebody in Greensboro to go to a certain campus other than maybe the Jamestown. But at the same time, you mentioned aviation. So are there programs that are offered at each campus that maybe it's not always the same, or is it always the same except for aviation? Help me understand that.
Yeah, there are some signature programs on each campus. I mean, you'll find that we have curriculum programs, we have degree programs, we have non-credit programs, no matter which campus you're on. However, I would say that, for instance, in High Point, our entertainment and technology program is one of our signature programs. We also have human services there. We have pharmacy tech there. If you go over to Greensboro, you'll find out that we have a number of programs such as HVAC and our megatronics program.
Right.
We also have a turf program there, not a surf or a surf and turf, but a turf
that's
program.
Right, a turf program.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that's very diverse. I think it's neat. Now, what else is exciting is, and I want to get you talking about this, you had a special guest recently. Who was that and what was the occasion?
Yeah, our U.S. Secretary of Education, Dr. Miguel Cardona, actually visited GTCC, and he came to our Greensboro campus, which was a real honor to have him there. It was a part of a multi-week trip across college campuses, and I believe it was called the Pathway to Success or the Road to Success, Welcome Back to School,
Right,
College Edition.
right.
And so he came to our campus to visit.
That's quite an honor, I think. But hey, let me ask you something. I was kidding at the beginning about different universities and things that you've been in, a very storied career. But let me ask you a personal question. Now, you've been around education. Why did you choose education? What was a person, an aunt, an uncle, a teacher, a professor? I mean, why did you go into it?
Yeah, well, I have a great story about that. Actually, I graduated high school in 1987. And the same year that I graduated high school, my father completed his GED.
How about that?
And I remember getting my picture taken, very proud in my cap and gown. And I remember handing it off to my father, and he got his picture because then they didn't have a graduation ceremony like they do now. But that's an early memory of the experience that my father had going back to school. And I grew up in a small community college town. So for me, it's going back to my roots. It's going back to what really matters and how do we make a difference in the lives, not of just traditional 4-year college students, but no matter at what age or point you are in your career lifespan, there's a place for you at GTC to start your journey.
Yeah, I can see that in your eyes and hear it in your voice about what it means to you. And I just appreciate the work you're doing over there and getting folks ready for work, which of course is an overriding mission over there. Get everybody prepared to go out and work.
It is, yes. Thank you.
And I want to put up something on screen because I didn't mean to babble around. I was just interested in your background there. Up on screen, gtcc.edu is the website, gtcc.edu. And I hope you will check that out because as Dr. Pittman mentioned, there's so many different things and courses and things you can go into and explore, and you can at least go through that website and check it out. Will you come back and see us sometime?
Absolutely, love to.
All right.